What's going on, everybody? And thanks for joining us again. We're live, and today we've got a full episode for you. We're going to be first discussing how MrBeast scrapped his huge AI thumbnail venture that was going to probably make him millions and creates more avenues for independent creators as a result. The second topic, I'm telling you this once, we're going to be discussing the Liver King. And we are only going to be discussing him on this show one time ever. This will be the time, this topic, it'll be an open and shut closed case and then forever to not exist to us. We don't need to amplify this psycho. And then the third topic is going to be how China's humanoid robots are generating more attention and soccer excitement than their human counterparts. Wait until you see these things play ball. That being said, joining us in the Pickle Gallery, excited to have him again. Just Another Day TV and running the keys, Skeleton Crew, Will Hubert.
I'm back.
Let's go. All right, so as I indicated, the first topic of the day is how MrBeast had created a thumbnail venture that was probably going to make him millions. Interesting, mainly, one, consider his major platform. But two, what made MrBeast so huge, okay, so we're talking about the biggest YouTube channel and one of the biggest internet names or personalities that at least is socially recognizable amongst the masses and the youths, them youths. But with MrBeast and his huge stardom and fame, he always exclaimed that what made him what he is, and his YouTube channel more than anything, his YouTube success, he directly drew upon his thumbnail process. So when you go back to the beginning, when MrBeast first came, he blows up, he becomes huge, and first does, I think, the Joe Rogan podcast before he really starts going on other shows. And one of the stories he divulges is how he created a platform, really just kind of like a chat room of a handful of creators, like 5 or 6 creators. They'd log in every day. He told his mom he was going to college, but really, when he graduated high school, lied, never went to college, and would just go to like the local community college parking lot and jump in these, forums and discuss all day with other creators what's working, what's not working, how to really maximize success and viewership on YouTube specifically. One of the things that they discovered, as at least what he says to everybody, that launched him was his thumbnail game. He said, everybody needs to focus on the thumbnail game. That's the most important piece. If you could really capitalize on the thumbnail, you can take control on YouTube. He would always say the tongue-in-cheek, I think I could go to any content creator. They could have 50 viewers. They could have 10,000 viewers. They could have 50,000 viewers. I could turn them into a show with millions of viewers just with the right, and he won't divulge it. You gotta be a friend. You gotta be in the master class. But there's particular things within the thumbnail, the content, and its presentation that he says he could turn any platform into a success. And so if this guy were to get into the thumbnail business, which is the thing he says is what makes him huge, you couldn't convince me that wouldn't be the biggest draw for YouTube alone, but content creators, which is definitely becoming the future of marketing and professions. I mean, I think the crazy numbers are like 60% of kids in grade school now say they want to be a content creator. So he goes into this venture where he's going to be using AI to create, obviously he knows what types of elements and factors create the best type of thumbnail. Intertwining that with AI, you'd be able to create topical and incredible thumbnails at a low cost, and it cost MrBeast nothing beyond the initial development of the program. And the internet went nuts. So here's the giant mogul. Jimmy, you became one of them. You became one of the villains. You became a mogul, and now you're eating up all the space for other independent creators to really blossom and have value and need. It's kind of like the protests that happened in Hollywood. It's read the writing on the wall. You're becoming obsolete. And so these are people screaming at the high heavens to keep their relevance. But MrBeast, you got to hand it to him. He's a man of the people, and he was willing to completely dissolve this venture he had to have invested significant into. And instead is rerouting his attention. This was the release he put out on the internet just shortly after dissolving this new future thumbnail AI content purchase program.
AI thumbnail tool to help small creators make better thumbnails, and I definitely missed the mark. If you open up Twitter, you know what I'm talking about. There will not be the AI thumbnail tool. It just doesn't exist. We pulled it down. And on top of that, I wanted to go one step further to really show artists out there that I care. Under our more tools section, it will say hire thumbnail artists. And if you click that, it'll take you to a page of artist portfolios where you can commission a real thumbnail artist to make you a real thumbnail.
So there you go. He'll be able, it's like Fiverr. Now, too bad for Fiverr because Jimmy's probably going to take over your business now. But this still is flourishing an environment for independent creators. I keep wanting to say contractors. But with that being said, I want to flip it to the Pickle Gallery. Ricky, what do you think of the story?
I would do it. I don't know why he would give it up. AI is the way of the future. I don't know why he will. What's the word? What's the word? Should we say? Bend to the masses so easily. Like he could say, we're gonna educate artists on better understand AI to make them so they can make and push out better thumbnails. But eventually, he's still gonna do it one day. Like people may be scared today, but tomorrow AI it's here already. So I don't know why he just quit like that. It doesn't make sense.
You know, maybe you might disagree, Ricky, but a little bit of hubris that flourishes inside me. I gotta say, I'm willing to fight with AI or not. Either way, there is something special about being top in the thumbnail game. I take pride in our Rethink Tank thumbnails, and you either got a creative eye for it or you don't. And AI can. I gotta tell you, you know what? Maybe I should do a share screen. Let's go to MrBeast's YouTube channel because he is 100% known for his thumbnails, right? That's what makes him great. But honestly, they haven't been. They seem pretty generic, and he does a lot of computer graphic engineering, and a lot of it seems like CGI. It's like, Jimmy, it isn't a good look. It doesn't look natural like some of your other stronger thumbnails did. So here I got Jimmy's MrBeast. So if we look at it, these have been okay. Everybody's been talking about how he's been looking ripped lately. Like this one with his girlfriend. That looks CGI. We know that is not a photo you took.
That is not Jimmy.
We know that this is not a photo that was taken. This was not a photo that was taken. So
I like how when you go over the video real quick and it's like it previews the video and it looks nothing like it then.
Yeah. It looks like a real video with real people. It's like, yeah, why'd you do that? So I gotta be honest with you. Jimmy's probably trying to bring you in on Jimmy's game here. Jimmy probably has been using AI for the last couple years. I mean, this did not happen. I gotta tell you, I'm sorry. That photo shoot just didn't happen. Everything else, the kid got apples. I bet you a kid or two got apples. But I don't think this photo happened. I don't see apples.
I don't see one single apple. I see a lot of goats.
I say, yeah, that's what they should. A bowl of goats. That would have made more. Especially AI could do that for you.
If he AI'd a bowl of goats, that would have been amazing.
It definitely would have got more clicks. Jimmy, hire me.
Look at the views.
60. I know, dude.
It's
so funny
it's a
you say
video
that.
of him holding apples with a little African American kid, and
Watch this
66
video to feed
million
one person.
views. That is insane.
How about this? If you
Right, that's a straight African kid.
right, if you watch the video on the right, you get to feed one person in need. However, if you watch the video on the left, Jimmy might be risking drowning. Oh my God, tension, and literally more than double the views. Like, you could save a kid and feed a stranger, and we're like, but drama. I love the melodrama.
Do you think Jimmy actually let The Rock drag him down
Hell
a little
no.
bit?
That's what I mean. This is fiction. This is reality.
Wait. There's not even water. There's no water yet. Oh, there's a lake. There's a lake. There's a lake in the
You just
background.
have to get there.
Yeah.
No, what's funny is you don't even get it from the thumbnail. This one, where'd it go? That one we were looking. Look, those are all. These are crazy. These are definitely not real. This one is like a series of games. That doesn't even happen, by the way. Like this scene you're looking at with Jimmy. First, Jimmy's not even the contestant.
I was gonna say, I was like, is he actually in the one in the water, or is it somebody else?
So, like, but again, you could use AI to create any of these, and it makes you wonder, is that what Jimmy's been using? Like, that's sharp.
Cool. The Squid Game one, it's topical. That one's pretty cool.
Top notch. 819 million views over the last 3 years. That's crazy. Kudos, man. Will, what do you make of the thumbnail game situation?
I mean, like, I think it'd be a great tool. And I'm kind of with Ricky. I mean, he caved really quickly to that. Like, I would say I remember the story came out. I wish we had like a timeline. I think it was like within a matter of days. He was like, nah, my bad.
Yeah, right. So with the backlash and the quick, as Ricky said, bending of the knee, I do believe, like, what was Ricky's point? Why would you give in? This is going to happen inevitably anyway. Like, the world's inevitably going to AI. Why would you bend the knee when you could be the tip of the spear?
I think he doesn't want to be. I think he's going to go down as like a supervillain someday. We're going to see it. We're going to slowly see it. And he's like, no, this is too soon.
Yep.
Too soon.
And can I now spilling the beans? I thought you were about to jump the gun and spill what I was about to say. I genuinely think this ends with him owning an AI thumbnail company, folks.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
Wake up and smell the beasts.
Personally, he probably already does.
Yeah,
he probably already does.
Yeah, it's a LLC that's removed from his identity, and they are getting into the AI thumbnail business. But here's what MrBeast gets. Okay, what is the thing that Trump and high celebrities say all the time? As long as they're talking about you, that's all that matters. And any publicity is good publicity. First off, you had people that loved you riled up, talking about you. Then you got to, fade off as like a hero in their eyes, and even independent content creators that envy you, that wish they, or dislike you because they're envious. I think this was a perfect opportunity to get the props from all the people. Like, hey, look I heard you. I listened. I'm here to do what's right. So he gets the accolades, but inevitably it's going to end in the same place anyway, especially because, again, I hate to be that guy, but if you look at the most viewed, YouTube channel in the world, they all look like artificial thumbnails.
They almost look fake. They almost look like those fake videos I'll see get advertised to me that I'm like, I'm not like that because I think it's like a fake product.
Right.
So maybe that's why kids watch them a lot, because they look kind of like games.
Yeah, games.
And look at how far back that goes. That's like 2 years. So for like at least 2 years now.
No.
The Squid Games one was what, 3 years? So
The Squid Games ones was 3 years ago, and I appreciate you making that comment, because the thing I wanted to say, so here's that Squid Games one. The thing I love about it, that wasn't the original thumbnail. So it's like Jimmy, he says that all the time, that he's constantly updating them. So like I'm sitting here trying to scroll back as far as I can to see like an ultra old Jimmy. But
right
like,
there, the 24 hours.
6 years.
The 24 hours. That one looks like he took
OG. But look at this one, not so much. That looks like
the one below
updated 3 years ago.
The one below it in the Lambo. That one, yeah.
That's a newer one.
Yep.
And you're telling me that's of the same age as
that's 6 years ago.
Hours? Right.
Maybe he looks at the algorithm and see what old video is still popping and just add the new thumbnail.
1,000%. No, that is definitely what he does. He says that he constantly updates them, like hourly, minute by minute. You know, if this isn't working, maybe I got to make my smile, but like make me bigger, make me smaller, make the background brighter, like all these different things. This is looking like normal YouTube, right?
Right.
So now you're in like normal YouTube landscape. That's 7 years ago.
I took apart my friend's car and put it in his room, and it's just a car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's definitely a car in the room.
Yeah. So again, crazy. Like, So what I'd love to know is how much was MrBeast charging for a thumbnail, right? Because what's the market looking like? $10 to $100 or more. That's pretty cheap.
Yeah, that's pretty cheap.
But again, if you're getting, YouTube has like millions of videos uploaded every second. Imagine if you could have a fraction of those videos giving you $10 to $100.
Dude, if you got like
4%,
second. If like 4% of all YouTube videos, like, you know, we're paying him for thumbnails, that'd be so much money.
Oh yeah. But again, it's just funny going back in time because you're seeing like 4 years ago.
How much longer though until we view him as like another Bezos or something like that?
That's what's funny is his come up feels more natural, right?
Right.
You didn't sell. What makes Bezos is less natural. He climbed the ladder just like anybody else. Oh, but he didn't make me laugh and entertain me and sell me chocolate when I was a kid. So like MrBeast has the upper hand because this is like Barney becoming.
Dude, look at the one versus
Lex
$500,000 experience one. Like, yeah, right. Like you were in with all those turtles around.
Yeah.
Not a shot.
Not a shot. No, and so again, you're watching a kid's Barney become Lex Luthor. So he's becoming their villain, and he gets away with it. He hits the inside lane because like, I love you, Mr. Feastables chocolate bars, and we all laugh. Subscribe for a cookie. There you go. So, yeah, I guess we could start landing this plane. Ricky, what are your rapping thoughts?
I like MrBeast. I don't get man, people are too sensitive. Like, even the artists use AI, man. Get out of here. Like, it's stupid.
Yeah, and again, you want to support independent creators, so that's a good aspect to it. I think this is a huge publicity stunt. Maybe I'll give you that it was unintentional, but publicity stunt nonetheless. It turns out, yeah, I was going to make millions. Instead, I'll eat the millions for the publicity that, hey, look I'm still the good guy. I'm still a philanthropist. I turned her, his shiny white teeth, like the internet's going crazy over how hot and sexy Jimmy looks now. And he's been in with a trainer and everything. He's sitting there like, shing, his teeth are shining. And he's like,
he got veneers.
Yeah, straight up. And he's like, hey, guy, I heard you. I'm sorry. And I'm going to kill Fiverr. The other giant platform that supports independent content creators. Now I'm just going to take all that cash. But the big lesson here, folks, is don't be surprised when Lex Luthor ends up owning a thumbnail AI business, either through a shadow company or just 5 years from now. But let's be real. You're stupid to not. If you've got the idea and it's going to pop off right now, you better do it right now, or someone else is going to become the leader in that market. So just don't be surprised if he's paying, not Chris Tyson. What's the other friend? I don't know Jimmy's friends. Let's Chandler. Chandler's a good guy. So maybe he just gives money to Chandler so Chandler can be the thumbnail guy.
That's the thing. Like, why didn't he have like Chandler come out and say, well, I guess you got to, if you're MrBeast, like you got to be like the figurehead for it. But maybe it would have been less of a publicity thing. Maybe that way. I don't know.
What were you going to say, Ricky?
If he made Chandler, it'd be like his bro making a come up as well. You know what I mean? It'd have been a great story. That's a good storyline.
Well, I also think Jimmy kind of likes them not being huge. You know, I'm the face of this. I don't want you guys.
That's true.
I don't want you being your own independent ship. Then you definitely don't need me as well. But you know what? Jimmy's a good guy.
Or you just make everything great. You make everything better. When they collab and everything, it just makes everything better.
Well, let's be real. He needs them definitely more than they need him in some aspect, right? Like at the end of the day, Chris Tyson proves they do need him.
I mean,
but
yeah, I mean, it's not like the $500,000 for drowning and it's not Jimmy in there. You know, it's probably Chandler.
The other unfair thing, once you have 1 billion eyeballs, you can have, what was the last competition on Amazon Prime? Like 1,000 people competing. Do you know how impossible it would be for any other, an independent, you have to be so huge of a platform to have 1,000 people compete and leave their families and their jobs to do this whole thing. But what made Jimmy, the biggest MrBeast in the world, was Chandler, Chris Tyson before he became a woman, and the gang competing for an island. Like, it was always his friends competing for all this stuff. And now he's big enough to where he doesn't need them. But deep down, I don't think he realizes how much of the meat of personality they bring, or they are, than he is. So yeah, you guys make some interesting points. So Will, any wrapping thoughts?
I just, at this point, man, I just want him to make a real life Fortnite thing and like have people like fly in and like grab like paintball guns.
Oh,
like at this point, do it. Like, why not?
That would be awesome. Ooh, why does he not do that?
That's what I mean. It's like, I would look at you as less of a villain if you did something like that, because that would get so many views. I'd watch it.
Wait, hold on. I got to, for the sake of the MrBeast lovers, what makes you look at him as a villain now? Like, listen, I'm with you. I'm seeing and hearing all the precursors of possibility, but is he a villain yet?
I like that question. That's a good thought. Cause like, I don't think I've ever actually like sat down and watched a MrBeast video.
Oh, that's a loss. You got to watch it, dude. He's the best. They're great. And every single one of them are incredible.
Like, at what point did you turn? Like, at what point did you change? Like, I'd love to hear some responses on that.
Well, okay. I leave it to the comments to dive in and give some feedback, because I have to say, dude, I really don't think he doesn't miss. Like, we're talking cinematic level content, and it's every single one, and they keep getting bigger. Like, you want to see 3 years ago, watch that. You just said it's topical. You enjoy it. You and I are going to do our own little episode about Squid Games. Like, dude, go watch the MrBeast Squid Games and you will be floored. You'll be floored. It's like nothing you could possibly imagine. It's literally the show. We're talking universal size stage sets where the ceilings are infinite. Dude, it's insane. And that was 3 years ago. And he's built maximizing on that to the nth degree. I mean, dude, every other person was given $100,000 in that Prime show. So much money's flowing around this guy. We're talking like Game of Thrones level cinema. You go put your cursor over that. I don't even see water, but we floated over the fact that it was like a track on dirt with huge explosive demolition. I guarantee, Will, I think you owe it as homework to the dialogue we have on the show. Next time you're watching Fortnite or you're playing Fortnite, throw on any of them. And, dude, you can just click any of them, and they're all amazing. I have to give him that. I'd be doing him a severe disservice if I didn't acknowledge you can't find what Jimmy's got anywhere else on YouTube. And you know what I actually beg of the audience listening now? If you can, please drop it in the comments. Like break me out of this isolated echo chamber of belief that there's nothing this tier anywhere else on YouTube. I mean, I'm somebody that loves Good Mythical Morning, and I guess I should make that acknowledgement on an episode that's going to spoiler, I'm going to be divulging a major piece coming to the show, which is going to be our Wheel of Topics, ironically. It's more like this, a corner set where it's nothing to scoff at, but it is not a universal ceiling studio. So even at like the highest quality of what we're doing, I don't even think they touch. So Good Mythical Morning, I'm talking about. I don't even think they touch what Jimmy's got going on. I said a lot, so I want to give an opportunity for anything else. Will, Ricky?
No, I guess I got some homework.
Yeah, dude, I want because you're gonna love it. Like Fortnite, you're like, shit. Why? How was I not eating this up?
All right, maybe I won't because I am spending some money on V-Bucks lately, and I gotta stop.
No, dude, what's gonna be hilarious is you're gonna watch like 4 or 5 videos, and you're like, you know what? I'll try a Feastable.
You know, I'm gonna subscribe and get a cookie.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna do that.
And get a cookie. Yeah. You know what? I think I'm gonna try a Feastable, dude. And then you're gonna be like, shit, these are good too.
Have you had one?
Oh my god, all of them.
You've had a Feastable?
All of them.
Oh my!
The peanut butter ones are the best.
Oh my god!
And no, really, the best ones are the crunch ones. Like I'm not a big. You remember the Crunch Bar?
Yeah.
You know, with like the rice pops in them. I liked them as a kid. Didn't love them, dude. That bar, best Feastable. They're all great. Dude. I want to not love it. The dude took over Red Robin here in the local town in Ohio and made it a shadow restaurant where you could order beast burgers through like.
No, he did not call them that.
Dude, they were great. It was Red Robin. I mean, what are we talking about?
Like, you going hard for MrBeast, bruv. Like, I never had a Feastable.
Dude, next week, Alexander's going to have like a Prime bottle and like a Feastable in front of him and be like, it's just a Beast show now.
Wait, hold up. Ricky, are you saying you wouldn't eat a Feastable?
I walked past them numerous times. I just never grabbed one.
I walked past.
Guess what? I guess I probably should.
If someone give me one, I'll try it. But I haven't took my wallet out and bought one yet.
Hey, Ricky,
the next time we get you in the studio to do a podcast with me, I will have Feastables here for us to try. Dude, you're gonna love
Well, don't try any yet, Will.
Ricky, I guess you got some homework to look forward to.
Yeah, dude. I hope we join the next episode and Ricky pulls out a Feastable. That would be popping. Ricky, what are your thoughts? Give us a food review.
Hey, I got like 10 Kit Kats from Japan. I can't wait to do a review on them.
And then you're going to try a Feastable and be like, all right.
Oh my God, we should add that to one of the spokes on the wheel. Be like, you got to eat a Feastable. Feastable review.
Well, I'm just going to keep them on there. It's just going to, now I got to come up with a game or something that incorporates Feastables for the Wheel of Topics so I can have a reason to have a stock of Feastables in here. Dude, the Costco guys. Boom, boom, boom. Big AJ or whatever the kid's name is, he has
his name,
a
the Rizzler?
Feastable candy machine in his house. Just walk up, push a button, get a Feastable. I don't know how to get.
Somebody in a third world would hear that and think like you made up all those words.
A double chunk chocolate cookie and a chicken bake.
Is that the Rizzler? Or that's another one?
What's that?
There's like two chubby kids.
Oh
that
yeah,
go
no, we're
viral.
talking about the Costco guys. This is a son and a dad.
Yeah, I know.
They rate
That's
everything
one of
with
them.
booms.
Yeah, what happened to those guys?
Yeah,
They're
and the Rizzler.
less relevant. They're still relevant, but less relevant.
They're going to go to like Sam's Club and try and like make that their new image or something.
But you know what?
Oh
The
yeah,
Rizzler?
yeah, the Rizzy,
Eternal.
the Riz God.
He's gone nowhere. Rizzler lives forever. Man.
So they're two different people.
Wait, have they added
Yes.
that emote
They
to
look
Fortnite?
alike.
Have they added?
I
They
think
should
they
add that
did.
to Fortnite.
You could just hit him with the Riz face. Yeah, the sad part is the longevity of the kid's cuteness is short.
Dude, they're in 20 years. They're going to be desperate for views and making some booms.
Dude, what's sad is in 15 years, that kid's going to be in worse shape and more miserable than Spanky was after the Little Rascals, and he won't have the same bag walking out
It's
of
going to
it.
be either that. It's going to be either that, or he's going to be like some offensive tackle for like Arizona State, and like everybody's going to be yelling boom.
Oh my God. If he turned out to be something,
That's what I
dude,
mean.
Come on.
That's
I don't
what
know if
mean,
you've
like, maybe.
seen the starting point. I think we're reaching for the stars.
Oh my
I don't know
God,
if I see
yeah.
that happening. But
Yeah.
if it were
18
to,
years from now, he's like the number 5 overall pick. Browns draft him as a left tackle.
hold up. You got to look at a video of this kid. Then you got to watch a video of this kid next to his dad and go, dude, that's the genetic path we're working with. He isn't going to miraculously turn into Joe Thomas.
I don't know. Maybe. Hey, do your drop set, man. Get back in your set. Work on that
You
three.
gotta look at dad more.
Work on that
All
three.
the extra
drop, baby.
glissies might get extra a couple of inches.
Hey, you know what? A couple boosters in your shoe aren't going to get you in the NFL. But
gotta-
like Will said, he would be the fan favorite.
Oh my God! Even if you never played, you're the long snapper. Boom, boom.
Get him, dude. Hey, and I guess that the big AJ or whatever, small Justice, little Justice, whatever his name is.
Is that what they call him?
I don't know. The kid. Apparently, he's big into baseball. Maybe he turns into the next Aaron Judge.
Oh, hitting
Boom.
some tanks.
What?
Hitting some tanks. He's had 6 booms last month.
All right. We owe it to ourselves. We got to get to the next topic here. This one,
First and last time.
first and last time we discuss the Liver King on the Rethink Tank. This guy is not worth our attention, but this is quite a story, especially when it becomes a terrorist-esque threat that involves the FBI and Joe Rogan. So the Liver King, you know, he's this guy that's just jacked and makes these weird videos. For some reason, that's his thing.
Hey, pause it real quick. Yeah. I see guys that do this at the gym and they're like an electrician. I don't know what they're doing it for, but they love it.
They're doing it for their primal queen.
Dude, you ever see people work out like that and you're like, man, you're like an accountant. You don't need to be doing all that.
You know, I'm not trying to spoil where this story goes, but when you're on steroids and you're doing this, like, you may think you're jacked yoked in, like, you know, a magazine pretty, but you are going to be the first to pop your heart.
Do you think he's on steroids or do you think he's all natural?
Well, I'm not going to spoil our story here. Ricky, what were you going to say?
Never mind.
Oh, come on. Come on.
He unmuted.
That's the good stuff.
He unmuted and the
No,
intrusive
I forgot.
thought went away.
I literally forgot.
You're killing me. So let's get into the story of the Liver King. He's pretty irrelevant, not worth our time. He came on the scene and fell off quickly because he proclaimed to be this primal, natural content creator. You want to be like me? Look at me. I'm yoked. I could have bored you with all of his content and his videos. Oh, let's get the Liver King Chef Lionel out here. Today we're cooking up cow balls. Cows don't have balls. Bull balls. And, raw. The main thing was raw liver. The Liver King loved eating raw liver. It taps you into your primal side and it makes you. Dude doesn't sleep on a mattress. He wants his bed to be uncomfortable so he can get out and moving. He doesn't take showers. You have a gut biome. You also have a skin biome. You don't want to shower because you want to be like a swine. You want people to smell you as you walk around. This guy was gross, every bit of him. You looked at him, he looked gross. He opened his mouth, you heard him talk, that was gross. Nothing, and it was all the same repetitive crap. But people clung to it. They were like, oh my God, he's making me be the best version of me, which is pathetic for you. But he was able to tap into that for some people. That being said, he kind of fell off the scene because he got caught in a lie. What's that lie, you ask? So he starts off, he never was on the Joe Rogan Experience. He kept longing for it. He kept trying. Joe made a point to exclaim that he's never been and never will be on the podcast. But he was on just a few lower rung podcasts. The most notable, so that should tell you, sadly enough, was the Bertcast. So he was on Bert Kreischer's podcast. We're going to be looking at Bertcast 541, where the Liver King gets confronted. So his whole shtick is live primal, eat primal, be like me, and you can look like me. And then people are like, dude, you're definitely on steroids. And he's like, no, I'm not. And his whole platform position was, I'm not on steroids. Screw everybody that's saying I'm on steroids. And you can get like me by just eating and living primal. So here's an audible, broadcasted assertion of this point on probably the largest platform he was able to climb to.
The phone. We're going to do this thing. We started doing it a year ago. And then right off the bat, oh, Liver King, you're on steroids. You're on PEDs, and so it's like, okay, we had a lot of fun with that, and then we had a doctor come on. We made a video. If you ever Google Liver King's blood work, we had a legitimate doctor come on. We did like a blood work reveal. That was fun. But then the accusations never stopped. So I'm like, okay.
Well, I assumed you were on steroids. I was talking to one of your guys, and I was like, yeah, he's on steroids, right? Like, people don't look like that. He was like, no, he's not. And I think I'd heard Rogan say you were on steroids.
Everybody. Yeah. Everybody. And so I'll say this just for a second, because my message never had anything to do with steroids, right?
Do you care? Not this sounds weird, but like, other than the fact that you have a body that you have earned on your own, are you against steroids?
This is what I'll say. I care in the most positive way, because when somebody says, hey man, you're on steroids, and they've been saying this for 20 or 30 years. I've been working out since I was 8. So as I was in high school, hey man, you're on steroids. This is a great compliment, right? This couldn't be a greater compliment. I mean, yesterday at the fight, some guy really said to me, are those actually fake? And I'm like, yeah, they're ab implants. They're 10K each. And goes, yeah, I know. I saw it on the Full Send podcast. And I said, if you watch the whole Full Send podcast, I'm the one who said these are fake. They're ab implants. I got 10 of them. They're 10K each. Is there such thing as a 10-pack? This was a joke. I've made up this joke. And then if you watch for another 5 seconds instead of just a soundbite, I'll say, no, this is actually a joke. I've been working out for 35 years.
These are ridiculous fucking abs.
Well, thank you. And this is what I'll say real quickly. The 9 ancestral.
Like, I've never seen an ab. I've never seen an ab on me, but those are insane.
Thank you. And again, this is what I'll say. All 9 ancestral tenets affect how we look, feel, and function. All of them affect our hormone profile. If you sleep like shit a couple days in a row, you're going to tank your testosterone. If you move like shit a couple days in a row, you're going to tank your testosterone. If you eat like shit All of these things. If you don't get sun, you're going to tank your testosterone and your neurochemistry. So just 50 years ago, we had at least 50% higher testosterone than the modern day manicured man today. And imagine when it was 100 years ago or 1,000 years ago. There's a reason why our forefathers were so much stronger than us in perpetuity, every generation prior to us. And then today, so all I'm saying is, you know what people do today? The modern day manicured man that doesn't know about these 9 ancestral tenets, that does go off and take PEDs or steroids for whatever reason that they want to do it. Most of the time, what I believe they're trying to do is increase their testosterone by 50 to 100%. And guess what? What if you could do that with the 9 ancestral tenets? And this is what I know. Whenever somebody says, he's got to be doing that, he has to be doing that. The reason why I think that's a dangerous message to share is because invariably some people want to look like me. That makes sense. And so what I think is dangerous about that is because of that, some people will say, well, then that means I got to do that stuff to look like that. Yeah. And all I really give a shit about is, listen, people are hurting and hating and suffering and struggling. Cheating doesn't scale. If you want to live a better fucking life, what you need to do is learn about the root cause, these 9 ancestral tenets that will optimize your hormones and optimize your neurochemistry. You're going to be so happy and so fulfilled and have so much energy, so much positivity, so much love and light.
So clearly, if you saw, the guy is a samurai when it comes to dodging the question. Have you taken steroids? The 9, all I'm saying is the 9 ancestral tenets. That's what you need to do. And I think it's a dangerous message to tell people you did get this body, with the truth in which you did, the steroids. Because then, the people that want to look like me would feel they have to take steroids. So, yeah, it's healthier and safer to just sell to them a lie, which is if you just eat liver and do this, like if you do half of my lifestyle, then you could look totally like me. But Joe Rogan actually, so he gets pulled into this story. And we'll get to that. We'll get to the present day story and how Joe Rogan needs the FBI to bring him protection in this terrorist track or terrorist pursuit. But that being said, Joe Rogan was directly confronted by Derek from the YouTube channel More Plates, More Dates, who's like a fitness guy, obviously knows the Liver King, runs within a lot of the same content creator circles. And it came up like, hey, why won't you do a pod, or have you thought about doing a podcast with him? Whatever.
One of them came up to me in Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of my security guards stopped him. He was like, I'm a producer for the Liver King. I'm like, what the fuck do you produce? What are you producing?
Like, how many UFC events did he try and kind of like cozy up?
He was front row at one of my shows in Vegas.
Oh, damn.
At the MGM. And then I saw him again at the Canelo fight. He was trying really hard to get on the podcast. And he's been trying really hard to get on now. He contacted a few friends of mine.
Yeah, he told me he's trying to get on.
Yeah, for what? For what? Say that more? Like, come on, this is dumb, man. This is you ran a con game and you got busted.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that you feel terrible. I'm sorry you feel bad, because that's just what happens when you get caught lying.
So this came out right after he got caught lying. So Joe Rogan on his podcast prior to this episode 1905, Joe Rogan was confronted in the past, like what he thought about this guy. And he's like, he looks insane, but there's no way he isn't doing it without steroids. And people would be like, well, that's his claim. And he's like, well, he's lying. Well, then it came out, there were releases of text messages between the Liver King and his personal trainer that showed that he was outwardly using steroids. And so the jig is up. You've been selling yourself as one thing, and that turns out to be a fully fabricated lie. As a result, you now have to swallow that pill, do damage control, and try to retrack your whole brand. So that way you could try to recover whatever remains. So shortly after the big explosion and, the House of Cards came down, here's the Liver King's apology video.
I'm making this video to apologize because I fucked up, because I'm embarrassed and ashamed, because I lied and I misled a lot of people. I've stated that this is a complicated as fuck topic, at least to me it is, because before social media, I was rich and anonymous. And after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous. And I never expected this kind of exposure in the public eye. It's been tricky as fuck to navigate. Well, clearly I did it wrong. And I'm here now to set the record straight. Yes, I've done steroids. And yes, I'm on steroids, monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Please.
Have you ever seen him with the shirt on?
No.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
So
I just had to ask.
no, yeah, well, but again, that's what he's selling. I want to go back to that 1905 Joe Rogan episode real quick. I don't have a clip of it, but if you go to YouTube, you can see there is a 15-minute clip of him talking with Derek about the Liver King, and they do 5-6 minutes on his abs alone, on how the internet's convinced they're fake, and they break down every reason why they have to be fake. So again, this guy's done Barbie cosmetic surgery. This guy's a walking Ken doll, fake drugs, fake abs, and he's been selling himself. Look at me and my, ungroomed beard. I'm this primal king, and if you just eat like a barbarian like me, eat like a barbarian like me, buy my book, understand the 9 ancestral tenets, and you can look like a plastic doll, but then I'm still forced to go.
Clearly, I did it wrong, and I'm here now to set the record straight. Yes, I've done steroids. And yes, I'm on steroids, monitored and managed by.
So now what? Like you did a come up over the course of a few years, and that entire come up is based on the fact that I've never done steroids. When you have to do this video is the final nail in the coffin. What are you got something for me, Ricky? Oh.
Nah, I was just.
You look like you
I
were
never
winding
liked. I
up
never
on
liked the
something.
Liver King, man.
Me
I see a
neither.
grown man eating raw liver. I just zoned it out.
Yeah, I'm zoning out.
I never wanted to look like that. So it was never a rabbit hole I ever went down.
Right.
Well, the good news is, Ricky, you could just buy your way to look like that because that's what he did.
Yeah, seriously. Now, Will, I know you're familiar with him, but one of the more famous athlete or health-conscious content creators out there or streamers is Bradley Martin. And here's Bradley Martin straight up confronting him, following the apology, following, the big exposure. Like, why, dude? What?
Do you not tell people about your steroid usage?
This is a great question, right? Because of what it implies.
Okay.
Right. I think a better question really is, it's the same question. Do you take things? Yeah. Right. My answer has been the same because I've always told the truth. And you can say or think whatever you want.
Of course.
Right. But at the end of the day, this is what my message is really all about.
Yeah.
Is it's the 9 ancestral tenets. And did you know 50 years ago, we had on average 50% higher testosterone?
Yeah.
So if you just think about that, right, we could probably go 50 to 100% higher just by doing the 9 ancestral tenets. Isn't that what most people do with steroids? They try and do steroids to increase their testosterone by 50 to 100%.
Can you please put a shirt on?
For the most part.
So I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but I'll say this. Like if somebody has, let's say, 700 free testosterone, and if they're taking steroids and they want to get up to 1,400 or 1,500 or whatever it is, guess what? You can do the same thing with the 9 ancestral tenets. And if you do the 9 ancestral tenets and you're living this way over this amount of decades, you're going to be able to produce your highest and most dominant form.
Well, why is no one confronting him, dude? Dude, you're doing the 9 ancestral tenets, sure, plus steroids. Steroids are doing all the heavy lifting here, literally and figuratively. It's the steroids. It's less the liver and more the steroids. Guess what? Barry Bonds didn't eat liver and did take showers. Barry Bonds was also able to accomplish the same level of muscular marvel as you did, and it was the steroids. Again, I say comically doing all the heavy lifting.
Maybe the 9 ancestral tenets are just 9 different steroids.
Dude, I can't stand hearing him say that. It's like, tell me that's the only. You know what? At least a
The
snake
9
oil
ancestral
salesman.
tenets is a whole cycle.
Yes.
They have to have a regimen.
But again, dude, at least a snake oil salesman was still giving me a bottle of snake oil. It's a whole bunch of fake bullshit, but I'm walking out with a bottle of snake oil. This is a snake oil salesman that is literally selling you nothing.
It's
just
like,
words.
It's like you buy his 9 ancestral tenants and you just get a big box of steroids. It's like, no, he was giving it to us.
Or get some E. coli.
Yeah, seriously. So again, he gets confronted on it directly, but now that's why Liver King's dead to us. He has no relevance to us here at the Rethink Tank. Never did, never would. Just like Joe Rogan. I have no intention of having him on my show. I'm trying to ignore him. He buys tickets at my show, puts himself front seat, tries to contact friends. He's on the Bertcast. Then he's trying to get Bert to contact me. And you know what? I'm dodging him. I have no interest.
Dude, Joe's been dodging him better than he dodges the question.
Yeah, boy, did he dodge that question, too. No, you're right.
His favorite movie must be Dodgeball.
Woo, or Dodge question. No, so when it comes to the present scenario that we're dealing with, you've got the Liver King, at least when he's going on all of these like long-winded airbag rants, selling his snake oil on all these shows. He goes on Bird, he goes on Bradley Martin, he goes on, and he's talking about all the crap, 9 ancestral tenants. At least he sounds lucid. I'm not buying what you're selling, dude, and that's why I'm not giving you my attention. You don't exist in my realm, but at least you sound lucid. Like you're in your own world. It's your own reality. I don't subscribe to it, but you sound grounded. Over the course of the last few days, this man has been sounding full-blown schizophrenic, and it just kept leveling up to the point where it reached the need for CIA involvement. So here's the first video of the, well, there's many, and I'm going to try to save you time. But here's one of the first in like the chapter leading to his arrest.
Somebody tell me if I got an invitation to go on the Joe Rogan podcast yet. If somebody could tell me, I would really like to know, because my queen's like, okay, what time are we leaving? Hold on, let me clean up the camera. She was like, what time are we leaving for Austin tomorrow? I said, probably at the earliest 12 if I don't get an invitation. I would really like an invitation. Everybody already knows why, and the invitation would be awesome. Can somebody let me know? That's actually kind of what I'm asking. Somebody let me know as soon as I could accept and get an invitation. Then I would like that kind of certainty. Oh, now I got an invitation. Now I'm not going to Austin, but right now I'm going to Austin. Somebody let me know, please. We're at garden number 2. Hello, garden number 2. We're going to go nose to tail right here in garden number 2. It's like 8:30 or something like that. 8:20, 8:30. It's
so again, at least I'm not going to say he sounds lucid, but he hasn't quite lost it yet. But it just keeps snowballing. Here's that evening.
Joe Rogan, bro. Release me of all these other things, man.
Sounds hammered.
I've been short with people. Haven't had much of the TYME stuff lately. I was just thinking about going to sleep.
You
Why
should.
do you go to sleep? Well, when do you go to sleep? When you're tired. Maybe I'll sleep when I'm tired. Sleep when I'm tired. Well, look, I'm not really tired because I'm in fight mode. Actually, I'm in fight mode. I have something to fight for. It's a principle. It's my family. It's my family, isn't it? Oh, your family? Yeah.
Okay, so it's more and more of this crap, and then this is probably the climax of the crazy videos before he quite literally goes to Austin, Texas.
Everything and everything. Because Joe Rogan, we don't have to make videos to pretend anymore. All of this is happening. We're coming to you. I've challenged you man to man to a fight. honorable.
So, hold on.
Oh, what a glorious day it is. Allow me, if you would, to tell you the tale of a man named Wesley Snipes, and how one day Mr. Snipes thought it would be an excellent idea and payday to challenge Joe Rogan to a skirmish. And Mr. Rogan was 100% okay with this happening. However, things didn't go as planned. Someone had informed Mr. Snipes that Mr. Rogan was not only a lifelong martial artist, but a combat-tested one. And then he very quickly said, "F that, we're not doing this." Now sure, Mr. Rogan is definitely a little bit older, and the Liver King is on every type of testosterone he can get his disgusting infected fingertips on. But I tell you right now, if you have never seen real combat in your life, and your first experience with it is there is no steroid on the planet that is going to save you.
So now the Liver King is hell-bent on a fight. He wants like a pay-per-view-esque type style fight against the Joe Rogan. And he's willing to go to Austin, Texas to confront him on this matter. He wants this. So he does it. He goes to Austin, Texas. He's on a hunt for Joe Rogan. And here's a video of the Liver King in a hotel in Austin, Texas, just hours before he gets arrested by the FBI the evening prior.
You like liver? Have you ever talked about liver before, Joe Rogan? Oh, what about Bond? What about that one? Do you like that one? Those are the ancestral tenets, the real ones, not the one that you made up about sunning your butthole. That was the imaginary one that you were hoping was on the list of commandments.
Was that not in his book?
What is this lost, misguided schizophrenic rant lead to? Let me tell you.
Hey, he's got a shirt on.
Not a full shirt.
I mean,
sleeveless still. Sleeveless hoodie.
Keeps the guns holstered. What can I say?
I mean, he gets called for espionage, terrorist threats.
Espionage. He's being sneaky. He's being sneaky.
But
You can hear him coming.
He literally looks like Antifa. I love this. Like, he looks like he is up to no good. So you think he'd learn from the situation? He doesn't. First video right out of jail.
So we might be leaving. The goal was to come on Monday to pick a fight, a loving one. Again, bookend it with love, start with love, finish with love, mosh pit in the middle. And then I was hoping that the jail thing and all that stuff would be the beautiful gifts that they were. They've been really good. They want me to... I'll probably end up leaving today. On the way out at 7 p.m. Central Time, I'm going to be at the Capitol with my family.
Not a good call.
Not your fight. This is my fight. Does anybody know what it's like to be bullied? Like,
okay,
really
not the same. You're hunting down Joe Rogan. And what's funny is all he wanted, some would say it's a simple request, but all he wanted was a fight with Joe Rogan, which, let that settle in.
Run for them life.
Come on, is this not what the people wanted?
I think Jimmy wants this on a thumbnail. I will say, though, I got to give him credit, though. I don't know if I'd want a man like that saying I'm going to the Capitol. History has shown. I'm not sure I want that.
No. Intervention was necessary, and we're thankful it happened, certainly. But it's an interesting dynamic because I can't remember who made the comment. I had it saved for today's video. But there was somebody. Some Twitter account I follow. He's got a couple million followers, and he's like, I thought for sure this was it. This was a huge thing. As soon as I saw this interest for the Liver King wanting to fight Joe Rogan, I'm like, these are two huge names. Why wouldn't people want this? And he went and did a poll and overwhelmingly, no one wanted it. And you'd think like even Joe Rogan fans would love to see Joe Rogan just like pummel someone, especially a dope like the Liver King. And it was funny. Like, that's how irrelevant and how disliked the Liver King is. No one wants that fight, even if it's like cool to see Joe Rogan do something.
Hey, do you think Trump knows who he is?
You know what? Now that the FBI has been involved, I'd imagine it was mentioned in a debrief somewhere. Let me tell you about this roided.
It was in the war room. It was in the war room before the B-2 bombers. They were like, "Hey, there's this guy. We think it's for Joe, maybe for you. I don't know. Keep your eyes out."
He actually was Hunter's seller for the last administration, but
yeah, Hunter's been on the 9 Testaments or whatever they're called.
The 9 ancestral tenets. You just gotta take what you want.
Yeah, I've seen the laptop files. He might have been.
So like I was saying, that's him on the lawn post arrest. This is where it really gets weird. Last post arrest video where you're like, all right, this is where I got to admit, this isn't some ploy. This isn't some publicity stunt. This dude is on drugs or something. He's lost his mind.
Anyone who's around us can alert us that there might be anyone with the last name Rogan around, and then I'll happily go the other 200 yards.
What's going on with his voice?
Help me make certain.
Here's a
We're going to go to the Capitol at 7 p.m. every day. We'll be at the Capitol where they make laws. Rogan versus Liver
Where they
King.
make laws.
Yeah. I don't know if you might know who I am. You might not. It doesn't really matter the name, but it's Liver King. I'm picking a fight.
What's his actual name?
Who's it with?
Brandon Johnson.
Seth Rogen. It's with Seth Rogen. And what's it for? Family. Joe Rogan is from California. I'm from Texas. Grew up on military bases, born on one. Been Texas really my whole life.
That immediately makes me go like, wait, what? You were born on a military campus? Like, are you, I'll bite my tongue.
Really my whole life. It's where I'm from. My mom was born here too. From Texas. I'm a Texan. Welcome to Texas. We're friendly.
Huh?
But we do things different here. You're about to find out how different.
Well, you shouldn't have doubled down on the threat. That's what got you kicked out of town.
I find it impressive. It looks like he literally has aged a decade in like the span of 5 videos.
You know what? That's what doctors have been telling us forever. That's what steroid does to you.
And the thing is,
yeah.
Where's his family? His family usually around.
You know
Where's
what?
his wife and his kids?
Nope, that isn't it. I truly do have to acknowledge I did a disservice to the video, the series here. A lot of these videos, post and pre, involve the family. I really should have done a better job of involving them, where like he is running around all paranoid that they're coming to get me. That was another video I wanted to have. He's in his hotel room with his wife and his 2 sons. He took them with him, and he's running around the room and, well, don't arrest them. You got to arrest me. It was a whole scene. There were so many videos, dude. Again, it's been a dump, like minute by minute. He's got more videos. But what I got to give it to him is
his wife is just going along with this.
Oh, she loves it, dude. That's the creepiest part about it. It makes you wonder, like, how much of this is her? Like, she's fueling it because she's loving.
That's why he
his
can't sleep.
Liver queen.
As he closes his eyes, she's in his ears. Rogan.
Yeah.
Rogan. Yeah.
Rogan. You're still not on. You may be,
dude. She's probably in on it, but like his kids were like, "Oh my god, we're going to see Joe Rogan in Texas at the mothership. This is going to be great."
Dad gets arrested by
Dad's
FBI.
Tweaking out in the hotel room.
Yeah. Well, so speaking of tweaking out, everybody's like leaping to conclusions. Dude's methed out. He's got to be on drugs. Dude isn't on it. So Here at the Rethink Tank, there's quite literally no better expert to go to on the subject than we're going to go to Had It All Fitness for the true medical diagnosis of what could be potentially in the drug system here.
It ain't meth. You ain't smoking amphetamines or doing crystal. I was an addict for 5 years, and I was also a major psychedelic connoisseur. Take a look at his eyes. That's not both eyes dilated.
Look at one eye.
Amphetamines would do. One's big, one's small. He's on DMT. Or more specifically, because you see that violet clear liquid that he always puts into a syringe and puts under his tongue, he's probably on a psilocybin DMT mixture. And that's why he's completely lost his shit. I remember one time I was on LSD for 1.5 years straight. And thank God I came back. It's pretty fun though, not even gonna lie. But no, Liver King's not smoking crystal meth, guys, don't worry. It's actually something even worse. He's literally losing his mind by frying it with the same exact chemical your brain produces when you dream.
Honestly, I trust him.
Exactly, right?
Of all the videos you played, I've trusted that guy the most.
I believe it. I agree with him too. And again, he's frying his brain on the thing we dream on. So it's been a weird, interesting road that led us here. I'd like to close out the whole Joe Rogan Liver King thing with this. This is, again, Jimmy, MrBeast, get with it. This is the future of entertainment. You can't beat content like this. That's why you got to join us on Rethink Actions on Sunday. This clip right here.
Oh, God.
Joe's afraid. Joe's afraid.
Oh, God.
I wish we could be playing the music. He's in an ice bath with beer. Can't tell me the future isn't AI.
This is too much.
Ricky, give me your rapid thoughts on the whole Liver King.
I hope he makes it through this and don't do something stupid to go to jail for the rest of his life, man. He has less years in front of him than behind him. Like that's how it goes. I hope his family stays safe and his wife like whispers something else in his ears, like, get your shit together. I don't know.
As far as thoughts on the Liver King update, the news situation where, you know, he's getting arrested by the FBI, probably being classified as a terrorist now. You know, these are the things that got him famous, just doing weird videos like this. He probably should have kept to it. To his chagrin, he needed to accept the fact that there's a ceiling to this, and that ceiling doesn't include Joe Rogan. Got to have a little bit more talent than just being you're talking to a fitness guy. You're not going to impress the fitness guy by just having nothing but fitness to offer. Your 9 ancestral tenets ain't shit to a guy that doesn't need them, use them, isn't on steroids, does have, audibly admits testosterone replacement therapy, and could probably beat your ass 10 times. And doesn't have abs like you, by the way. Does have abs, but when Derek from More Plates, More Dates was doing that breakdown with Joe, they show like no matter how he's sitting, where he bends, his abs aren't moving. They aren't losing density. They aren't tensing up. There's something totally off about him. And it stands out to the experts. You're not impressing the experts that are accomplishing what you're doing and some, and don't need all of the, cheat codes that you use. That being said, though, this should have been the end of you, Liver King. You built a whole platform on a lie. The lie was exposed, and you have nothing else to offer. You can't be fitness without steroids, and then magically your whole fitness regime revolves steroids, and then be like, no, but still trust me and come back to me for steroids. In that 1.5 years of your pitfall where you just disappeared off the face of the earth, that period, your whole rebrand that you were using to save yourself was saying, well, still stick with the Liver King, still come and watch my content and come to my show because I'm going to be now on a fitness journey showing you how you can maintain this physique without steroids. And then you realize not a damn soul had interest because you actually had people believing you could do that without steroids. And hey, bud, again, to your chagrin, turns out no one wants to take steroids. That's the cost at which it takes to get where you're at. They're disinterested. Last thing before we depart totally from this subject. So, Will, give me your wrapping thoughts on the Liver King, but then I got a philosophical question on steroids for us.
This dude's going to Chris Jericho his family.
Oh, jeez.
Like, either that or find God. There's no in between.
We could hope.
Which then will become a religious influencer, and that might be the return of the Liver King on this channel, because I would want to talk about that. I'd be like, let's look at this guy.
I'm no longer the Liver King. I am now Christ is King. So
he would be like Christ is King, and he's like, and that's actually his blood you're drinking.
I turned wine into blood. So I got a philosophical question for the crew here. Will, I'm definitely looking at you as I pose the question.
Why me?
I would think you would agree with me when I say, 2000, let's go 2001 to 2010 baseball was like peak baseball. Or let's go 95.
I'll say mid 90s to early 2000s.
95 to 2005.
Yeah.
Peak baseball. And are you going to say Mark McGwire wasn't impressive? Are you going to say Barry Bonds wasn't impressive?
No, they should be in the Hall of Fame.
Right. Ivan Rodriguez, the Rocket, Roger Clemens. Are we going to sit here and honestly say these people weren't awe-inspiring, exciting to watch, a marvel? And honestly, while they were marvelous, and what made them marvelous was that they were exceptional to regular human talent, and then we come to realize what made them exceptional beyond regular human talent was the boost and prop up of steroids. Dude, we look back at those days. Mark McGwire loses none of my fandom. Sammy Sosa loses none of my fandom. Frank Thomas loses none of my fandom. If that is something I could say, I think what kills the Liver King is you flat out lied. I can play the Burtcast again. You straight up deny that being a part of your ancestral tenets, a part of your life. And I think even when we find out, people are pissed because it's like, whoa, dude, you weren't even selling personality. You didn't make me laugh. You didn't, this isn't a MrBeast. Like, you got me entertained. Your thing was fitness regimes that escape needing steroids. Well, now you need steroids. So now clearly the market doesn't need you. You're built on a complete fabrication. Whereas we all kind of knew baseball was using steroids. And in fact, we kind of loved it. Like, watching Roger Clemens pitch was something unbelievable. And again, who's dwarfing Barry Bonds regularly now? So I don't know. I pitch it to you. If we can sit there and kind of overlook, like, we're watching these sports because it's peak physical fitness, peak like this physical skill, and steroids reaches a level that you otherwise couldn't reach. Why would that not be? If we're doing this for entertainment's sake, why do we make that illegal? Why would we not want it? And then how do we, after we have the whole dialogue about athletes and fandom, why can we not apply that same logic to the Liver King himself?
Dude, like, the Liver King is proving it was like promoting a lifestyle, and it's like Barry Bonds was mashing home runs. Like, at the end of the day, he could shoot up steroids all he wants. He still has to hit the home runs. Roger Clemens still has to be a peak performer on the mound. It's one of those things. It's like
that he did nothing with that physique.
It's not that. No, he did something with the physique. He got the physique, but he lied about how he got the physique.
No, but you're saying even if he lied about how he did it, if he had a home run record, I'd look past it.
Well, no, it's not. I guess maybe I didn't get my point across correctly. For me, it's at the end of the day, I look at like the Liver King taking steroids, promoting his lifestyle, and it's like, dude, I go to the gym frequently, and I look at guys, and I'm like, there's no way that's natural. And he's just lifting weights. And at the end of the day, he goes on and has a regular everyday job.
Right.
When you're looking at Barry Bonds and stuff like Mark McGwire, Roger Clemens, those guys you named, it's like not only were they taking steroids, they were the best of the best at their sports. It's like, look at Lance Armstrong, the bike rider. It's like he still to this day holds numerous bike riding records. Yes, he was on steroids. Yes, he did lie about it. Like a lot of those baseball players did lie about it. But at the end of the day, it's like Barry Bonds could have taken all those steroids and been what, a 220 hitter, hit like 30 home runs, you know? Instead, he wasn't. He was like an over 300 hitter. He had like more walks and base appearances, plate appearances in 1 year. You know, it was almost a marvel. Like, oh my God, he's taking these, he's doing what all these other players are doing, and he's competing at such a higher level still. That's why
so you and I got to agree. I think the point, at least that's what you're kind of making inside me. My point I'm drawing from your comment is, yeah, if you had accolades, I'd be easier to look over this than the only thing. What did you have to offer? It's a fitness regimen. Yes, it's a narrative and a pipe dream, but all the product was TikToks of you walking through water with kettlebells and eating balls that I would never eat. So like, it's like Fear Factor. Well, again, if Fear Factor was built on the fact that you've never done steroids, well, then I'm bored with Fear Factor. Whereas Mark McGwire sat in front of Congress and was like, I've never done that. And the whole world's like, dude, you've done that. And I'm okay with that because watching you play baseball was so fun.
If you were to go back to the steroid era, and I bet you if you were to ask a lot of those guys now, if they just copped to it right away, their punishment would not have been as severe. They would not have been viewed as like consistently having an asterisk. They would have probably still had the asterisk next to their name, but they wouldn't have been like barred from like baseball going forward. They would have been viewed differently. Whereas like, for instance, you had him like talking to Bradley Martin, right? And it's like Bradley Martin, same avenue. He's a fitness influencer. You know, he posts TikToks all the time, like lifting weights. He's open about his usage though. Like he doesn't hide it. He's like, yeah, I'm on it. Like this isn't natural. Like there's no way I can maintain this naturally. And he's sitting across a guy who is more physically built than he is, going like, you're not fooling anybody, right? Like we were watching baseball live back then, even as kids, going like, they look metahuman. But at the same time, he was looking metahuman, and Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa are hitting above 70 home runs in a season. It's like, that's insane. Like
and I think you're drawing on another thing too. What makes me, I guess, the cognitive dissonance going inside me, where I'm able to make a delineation between the Liver King and the rest of these steroid user athletes that I find impressive. I think another, beyond performance, right? Again, all you've performed in is TikToks. Mark McGwire has records.
Yeah. And not to cut your point off real quick too, but a lot of those guys too that back then in baseball using the steroids, like Mark McGwire years after said, he's like, one of the main reasons I did was before he was on steroids, he couldn't play like a full season healthy and was hitting still like 35, 40 home runs.
It's and it's keeping up with the Joneses. When the league's using it, you use it to keep up with it, or you will be left behind.
It's like the Lance Armstrong bike riding thing. It's like he said, he's like, even in his 30 for 30, there were like other guys on there, like plenty of other guys were doing it.
Right.
They came down the hardest on him because one, he lied, but they all were lying. But two, he was the most famous. He was the best competitor.
Example of him. But again, that comes back to the second half of my point, which is, while I do think it's easier for me to look over it because of the accolade piece of it, I think another element that impacts my perspective in evaluating these groups versus all separate from the Liver King is also simply the why. When Bradley Martin asks why, he goes, well, because I don't want to give them, it's a dangerous message to share that so it's kind of like saying, yeah, I did steroids to get there, but I never said I did steroids because it'd be dangerous to encourage steroids. That's a complete fabricated lie. Like, you wanted to capitalize on this figment that you're trying to sell. And how does this delineate from all the other athletes we're talking about? When they were asked why, Mark McGwire, why did you lie to Congress? It's like, because if I didn't, I was in trouble. Like I was going to be kicked out of the league. I would be in legal trouble, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And so like Liver King, you're not an athlete. You're not contractually bound by anything. There isn't any legal aspect impacting you.
Right.
Why did you do this? And then you give some other, chewed up gobbledygook jumble of words that is a fabricated lie. Where you're like, well, I think it's dangerous. No. If you came out and were honest, like, no, I thought, that would build the accolades or the grandeur of my brand, then you know what? It'd be like, all right, you're a fool, but at least you're an honest fool.
It's like, I agree with that point because it's like their careers would have gone down the drain. I mean, look at A-Rod. I mean, like his was like huge when it like finally copped to like doing them. And it's like, since the whole steroid era, we've only had one season where a guy hit over 60 home runs, and it's like, again, that's just like one sport, and baseball was the biggest sport for it. But it's one of those, it's like you look at the Liver King, it's like you were lying for like why's sake because of your brand, where it's like these other individuals were lying because it's like, oh, my career will be done. Like I won't play baseball anymore. And especially back then, it's like, what are you going to do?
Right. No. And again, that's why it's like, I think one, if you had a home run record, we'd have something to talk about. But now, you're like, I would liked it better before when I was rich and a stranger to everybody. Now I'm rich and everybody knows me. It's like, okay, but guess what? The thing that made you rich is nothing to us. Like you bought and sold a bunch of companies. Okay, well, that just makes you like every other rich schlub. If you were sitting here going, well, I am the greatest deadlifter of all time. It's like, okay, well, at least you were able to, like, again, Joe Rogan, who does TRT, he does testosterone replacement therapy. That guy could kick your ass. So like, what's the point of doing steroids when a guy half your size could still mop the floor with you? If you don't have a biking record, world record, or the home run record, or the pitching record, then what are you besides just some meathead that has nothing to offer besides a bunch of TikToks and bullshit?
Yeah, I mean, your product is an all-natural body, and your body isn't natural. Like,
perfectly said.
It's just like the baseball players are like, no, we want to stay healthy and compete with the best of the best. I could understand that. Like, I get it. Not saying it's right, but I get it. With him, it's like, dude, you're talking to these other influencers and these other power lifters that are on the juice, looking at you like, there is no way in hell you're not on it. Just say you're on it. It's okay.
Right.
And then afterwards, like, it's like the Liver King. You're most known for lying about saying you're not on the juice. Right. And now being crazy about Joe Rogan. I don't even view Mark McGwire and Barry Bonds as like cheaters at baseball. I'm like, yeah, right. Mark McGwire, 73 in a year, and Barry Bonds still holds the home run record and probably will never be broken.
Yep. And again, I don't look at it any differently because that's what the league was.
Yeah.
So you still were the best of the best.
It's like it's not the same issue, but it's like, look at Josh Gordon, and his thing was weed, and it's like, then you have all these other players and be like, yeah, we were all doing it. He was just dumb enough to continuously be caught.
Right.
So it's kind of one of those things. It's like they're all doing it. It's just you kept getting caught. With the Liver King, it's like you literally copped to buying your abs.
Right.
Like your abs aren't even yours. And you're like, this is all natural. Just do the 9 commandments or whatever he calls it. And it's like, all right, buddy. Okay, man.
All right, buddy. Ricky, what do you think of the whole steroid deal?
And it's perfect when you brought up Josh Gordon, because like everyone smoked weed, but they know the time to get off. I feel like people in baseball still do steroids. Tatis just got from a suspension for PEDs. So like, they still do it. They just know when to stop for possibly being tested. Pat McAfee have a lot of episodes about how he used to stop smoking or drinking because he had tests coming up or he's in probation protocol. But like, bring back steroids in baseball. Why not? But any other sports,
dude,
I don't know. I can't see. I don't want steroids in football. Basketball,
they break people.
I don't think it would make a better product for basketball.
If we were to bring back the topic though of like steroid usage in the Olympics, like make like that like its own Olympics, I think the Liver King should get a phone call though.
But again, I think this comes back to why he gets nobody's attention. What would he do? Like Anna Hall, the 10-pound, 20-year-old female track star, will outthrow him in shot put.
Right.
So what value is a jack dude like that?
Like if I were to bump into Mark McGwire, I would not even bring up steroids. I'd be like, dude, you used to mash.
Yeah.
You used to mash.
Dude, I would literally bring up his Nerf bat.
Right.
Dude, my neighbor had your Nerf bat, and it was a tank.
And that's the thing. So when you bring up that question, it's like, why don't we look at them the same? It's like, because like at the end of the day, it's like I currently still play baseball. Dude, hitting a baseball is not easy. Hitting a baseball for almost 700 home runs. I don't care what you were on, dude. How did you do that? That's insane. The Liver King, it's like, dude, you're like any other mainstream bodybuilder. You just won't admit to what you're doing.
Boom.
And at the same time, you're lying to and by the way, we didn't bring this up, but since this is the last time we're going to talk to him, if you bought into his plan,
oh man,
you're a loser. Like you're a dork. Like
Yeah.
get over yourself, man.
How about this? Nobody in that program looks like the Liver King.
Nobody does. And it's like, I almost like, there's a part of me that like, I know I just called them dorks, but then there's a part of me that like feels bad. You got duped by this idiot. But it's like, I look at like Mark McGwire and Barry Bonds and I'm like, I want to hit like you. I still want to hit like you.
Yeah, again, and that's why they'll go down, even with the asterisk, they still go down as our heroes. And Liver King is going to be a name that isn't mentioned on this show again. You know, you just fade out into existence, away from existence, like a Homer in a bush.
Yeah, I don't even want to have a moment of silence for him. Let's just go right into the next topic.
Yeah. Next topic is crazy. Talk about what really gets humans excitement and attention. This is the future, folks. Welcome to it. China's humanoid robots are generating more excitement in their soccer realm than the human counterparts. I'm telling you, you're not going to believe this. Check out these robots.
And a first for the sports world. China is.
So I want to talk about China's new robot humanoids. So Beijing is showing China's men's soccer team, which has failed to generate much excitement in the recent years. But their humanoid robot teams have won over fans in Beijing more on the AI technology involved than any athletic prowess shown. Because as you can see, there is not much athletic prowess involved. But again, quite impressive. Going up ramps, taking on hits, able to take on some athletic strategy. I mean, get knocked down, get back up. They're able to understand the game, chase the ball, a couple stumbles along the way.
Face plant. I hate to see it.
You know, it ain't pretty, but boy, is it cool. And so this is getting more attention than the actual soccer teams themselves. Before I go deeper into it, Ricky, do you have any thoughts? And I want to get Will's thoughts too.
Whoever's spending money on that, they have nothing better to do. That's garbage.
Brother, are you
There's
saying
nothing cool about
the
that.
ticket, like the fan spending the money or the creators?
The fans.
Oh, okay.
The
Okay.
fan-
Again,
I
yes,
can't
I
understand
agree.
the creator. He's just making robots better, operating better, like putting programs, different chips. The fans need to do fucking that. Like, bro, there's nothing exciting. See, this is why AI is gonna kill us so quick.
Oh yeah.
Because we rather watch some robots move around like smart Roombas and trip over themselves. And look at that's like a little 2-year-old playing soccer, bro.
And the fans are going crazy.
They eating it up.
They're just stomping, waddling.
Dude, you know someone
Now,
put
if
money
they're
on it.
like fans of like science and it's just nothing but science fans in there, they're excited, like, oh, look what they're doing. Cool. But if they're just regular, like, oh, I like soccer now because of robots. F you. F your life.
He's
What you
injured.
doing?
Tore his ACL.
He unplugged a wire and they have to bring out a stretcher for him.
Wow.
No, but I appreciate the point you made, Ricky, about like AI's here and it's taking us over. Welcome to the future. And it goes to show we're so two-dimensional and minuscule that if we find something this generic and bland entertaining, then it goes to show who really is the primal brain. It's funny you say that because to further emphasize Ricky's point of like, it's over. We're here. We're at this point, and consider us goners. I want to show you this clip I have. Dang it. I apologize if I'm showing some things. That's not it. That's just a cool video.
They look so cool.
That's just a cool video. There we go. All right. So that being said, Ricky, you're saying we're being taken over and this is the end of us? Brother, at its infancy, you're seeing those chunky, clunky robots like chopping around. Brother, let me tell you, the robots already at their infancy have better balance and aerodynamics than humans. Oh, wow. We're all marveling over like this robot being walked through New York City, lady taken out by curb. Oh, wow. So, yeah, Ricky, we're done. This thing's at juvenile stages, and we're already fumbling and bumbling.
Old lady getting juked out by the robot is crazy.
The robot didn't even do a juke, just existed, and she went down. Will, what are your thoughts on the robots?
I know we just put them to rest, but I think those things are more natural than the Liver King.
First segment after the Liver King, we're still talking about this guy. I think he's going to haunt us.
What can I say? Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, well, but low-hanging liver. I think this is awesome. Like, I'm sorry, Ricky.
Dude, Ricky, dude, you're just upset that the next LeBron James is being built right now. They're going to beat his records, man. It's going to be Duncan.
America runs.
Nah, once robot get like top game, I watch robot football. Shit just breaking apart on the field.
I'm sorry, Ricky. I love this. Like, if this came to the Gund Arena, you know, our local stadium.
Gund Arena, oh my God, you just aged yourself like 20 years.
Yeah, you wouldn't go?
No, I don't think I would.
Okay,
thank you.
I guess in reality, I wouldn't go. But I'd sit there, I'd scroll upon the Facebook ad because that's where they're putting them. This wouldn't be advertised on a place where like there's really people. There'd be a Facebook ad, and I'd go, oh, I'd go see that, and then I'd scroll right past it,
and then you wouldn't go.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds really cool. I can't wait to see it. And it's this coming weekend. I got plans. I'm busy.
But like Ricky said, if it became like street football where they're just out there ripping each other's heads off and going crazy, I'd be first in line. Like but that's an inevitable. Like we're gonna get to Rock'em Sock'em Robots. This is the beginning. Like tink, 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 tink. There will be like I call up my friends and go, yo, this Saturday poker night UFC, my kid's gonna go. My dad used to have these toys, Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Now it's Saturdays. Ultimate fighting
real
robots.
steel.
And who
like
wants
the
to
movie.
come over? Yes, exactly. Who wants to come over, get the pizza? We're going to play some poker, drink some bourbon, and it's Rock'em Sock'em Robot Night. I guarantee we're not far away from that. You're probably seeing within the next decade or two. It'll be the Saudis doing it. Like it'll be big money that has to do it, and they'll just be like, build the robots, destroy the robots.
Just another reason to go to Dubai.
Hey, I'll be there. Live golf. Let's make it happen. Bryson DeChambeau is going to be driving the first robot. I'm psyched. Sign me up. If this is the beginning of the end, let's all just get excited.
Let me buy a ticket first.
Yeah, hey, going down with the ship, I'm playing my violin. And we're going down waving and singing. Let's have some fun. I wanted to just acknowledge how exciting this technology is. According to the organizers, a key aspect of the match was that all the participating robots operated fully autonomously using AI-driven strategies without any human intervention or supervision. Equipped with advanced visual sensors, the robots were able to identify the ball and navigate the field with agility. Is that what we're calling agility? I don't know about that. They were also designed to stand up on their own after falling. However, during the match, several still had to be carried off the field on stretchers by the staff, adding to the realism of the experience.
You know what? Before you continue, you want to know what I'd want to watch? I'd want to watch these against a team full of Dougs.
Oh man, why you had to do it to Doug? Doug's not even here to defend himself.
He's in the ER.
But you know what? He was here last week or on Sunday's episode where we acknowledged how fragile he is. He is a fragile man.
He's a gentle lad.
So what's interesting in this space race of AI technology, China is stepping up efforts to develop AI-powered humanoid robots using sports competitions like marathons, boxing, and football as real-world proving grounds. Cheng Ho, founder and CEO of Booster Robotics, the company that supplied the robot players, said sports competitions offer ideal testing grounds for humanoid robots, helping to accelerate the development of both algorithms and integrated hardware-software systems. So I got to say, while this is an incredibly exciting technology for us and the future, the scary part is, why am I not seeing that Silicon Valley we love talking about and making TV shows about? Why are we not seeing them as the tip of the spear of this technology in game? It used to be forever that China needed to steal it from us. Well, it looks like China's becoming the leader in probably the most important technological force. That founder, Heng Zhou, also emphasized safety as a core concern in the application of humanoid robots. In the future, we may arrange for robots to play football with humans. That means we must ensure the robots are completely safe. For example, a robot and a human could play a match where winning doesn't matter, but real offensive and defensive interactions take place. That would help audiences build trust and understand that robots are safe. Wait, that's the goal? I thought the goal was to develop the software. Dude, I've seen enough movies to not have the faith. And I don't think you have them just throw a ball back and forth isn't going to reinstill what Will Smith did 10 years ago. In the final match, the university involved here, their team score won 5-3 in this championship. So it was a competition against other Chinese universities. And, according to the prospects there, they did very well. But the Mountain Sea team, the other team, was also very impressive, and they brought a lot of surprises. So what makes this so unique and so exciting is that this is, like I said, not to rehash the same vocabulary, it being the infancy of an incredible technology. My point that I throw out to you as we bring in our wrapping thoughts, the only thing that makes me worried and quake is why are we, CERN, this particle accelerator the size of like 10 football fields, slamming atoms into each other at light speed. Why is that in China? Okay, well, it is technically American shadow companies doing it in China because we have all this red tape preventing them from doing, evil villain shit. So they have to go over there and do it in China. Well, okay, that's for like particle accelerators. You can do AI robots here. Why is this not our thing? And it's kind of alarming to me to sit back and go, well, where's our development in autonomous strategic systems in robots? So let me toss it to Ricky. Ricky, what are your wrapping thoughts?
I was gonna say MIT got some robot dogs, but you said autonomous smart. You want them smarter? Okay. Nigga language, smarter. All right. Rapid thoughts is they're worried about the robots being safe, playing along us, not them. We run into hard ass metals, getting the concussion. Just let the robots have their own league. And I think the only thing to survive is human sports. Actually, after AI take over everything, the real enjoyment we're gonna really have is just watching our other mankind slinging the ball and hitting dingers.
Hey, hitting dingers. Yeah, a dinger just really isn't as impressive coming from a robot as it is coming from organic matter like myself. But this is a really cool moment in human history. It's something that, our parents and our parents' parents, cartoons, comics, storybooks, everything has kind of predicted, fantasized, romanticized, and it's a very unique time to actually be living it, to be living its transition. I'll never forget turning on and watching the Terminator for the first time with my dad. And it's like, man, how do you get to this world where AI robots are taking over everything? Well, that's someone coming from the future that's like 100 years in the future. Okay, well, that's a slow burn. What do you think year 20 looked like? What do you think year 40 looked like before you got to 100 years? And that's us. It's gonna be our kids' problem having their heads smashed by a giant Terminator robot. But we get to see Wall-E and all this little crazy crap, like doing flips on a soccer field. And we went and bought our popcorn and cheered away. And, is it the beginning of the end? Sure. But I'm not at the end. That's the end's problem. I don't know. I guess that's my rapping thought. Will, rapping thoughts?
Dude, I'd rather go to a WNBA game than watch that.
Dude, if Caitlin Clark was in town, that actually would draw me there.
Sure, it's cool, but whatever.
And you heard that we got our own announcement.
Yeah, Cleveland's going to be getting a WNBA team.
It's great, dude. Just add another losing franchise to the city.
Another losing franchise, but this one, no one's going to watch them. Watch them lose.
Cleveland ladies, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Watch them
are going to get
named the Cleveland Indians.
Well, what's funny is the WNBA team is starting, or its inaugural season is in 2028, and the bees be buzzing. Everybody's swirling out there talking about how Caitlin Clark's contract ends in 2028 and she's going to be looking for a new home, and we're looking for a star that won't be on our back like the last one, so this could be cool. Yeah, Will, you gave your rapping thought. So, closing out the episode, we appreciate everybody that joined us, but we're not done with the episode quite yet. I have an exciting thing to introduce to the audience at home. This is going to be a reoccurring piece in the episodes moving forward, and I took a long time to get it going, get it here, and get to this point, but I'm incredibly excited to show you the Wheel of Topics. I would like you to get involved in our Wheel of Topics here. You know what? I'm going to get on this side. This is the first time I've had to share the screen with this thing, so I'm learning the best way to also display it.
We'll probably be using the middle camera in the future.
So, the beauty of the Wheel of Topics is this is your opportunity to get yourself directly involved with the show. We're going to end each episode with a big old spin of the Wheel of Topics. Now, we're going to have fun segments, fun games, and, of course, topics on our wheel here. For those that recall a few episodes back, we had the fun game Down the Wiki Hole. That's going to find itself on here. So some of the classic games you've seen in the past, but also some new ones like the Cracker Test and some of the more interesting ones we're going to keep secret. So we've got some surprises that you'll find on the wheel, but there's only one way you can get yourself involved on the wheel and more directly in the show. We need you to go to our website and join the Neuro Gym. It was our social media alternative that we had started back in the day, and it's just a public forum for here on the Rethink Tank where people can share their thoughts, ideas, content, have a good time. Now, it's been a while. We've kind of let the Neuro Gym get quiet because we've been saving it for moments like this. So, as you can see, if you go to the Neuro Gym, Brian Seamall, B. Smalls, our old producer who's still involved, but not a face of the show as it used to be. He posted the forum. It's there. It's sitting at the Neuro Gym as we speak. Join the Neuro Gym, build a profile, come up with a fun gamer tag, a fun username, build the profile, and add to the forum. Do us the opportunity of getting you involved. I couldn't be more excited to get the Wheel of Topics involved in our show. That being said, though, guys, we appreciate you joining us. We go live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. I got to flip it to the Pickle Gallery so they could give you a good idea of where to find them. Ricky, we appreciate you joining us. Tell the folks where to go.
Bless up. Just Another Day TV everywhere, anywhere.
Hey, that's right, guys. Get the vlogs, get the great content. Don't miss Ricky. Find him at Just Another Day TV. We also have our reaction show. We've got some amazing episodes lined up for you. Like I was saying earlier on, we're doing a summer series where we're laughing with all of the AI videos. And so we've done DC Comics, Marvel. We did Star Wars last week. This week's going to be Harry Potter. We've got some real greats lined up in the chamber like Bigfoot, Cartoon Network. But we've got some extra special episodes lined up for you. We're going to be doing, there's so many fun horror AI videos. So even though we find you every Sunday at 11 a.m., one of the ones in August, we're going to be doing a Rethink Actions After Dark. We're going to do a night episode where we could do all the horror stuff. And then one of the other weeks, we're going to have an unrated episode where you're not going to find it on YouTube and all the other platforms because we get a little dark and dirty with it because that's where the true humor and fun lies. So to find that one, you have to jump over to the website. Again, another reason to join the Neuro Gym. We're going to be dropping some more special content only found on the Neuro Gym. So find it all in what different shows, our live show, new podcast, starting the Thursday after the 4th of July. We have our first episode of the podcast season, the Rethink Tank podcast. We got a whole new season coming out. First episode with the Cruel Philosopher. Couldn't be more excited. He's probably one of my favorite people I get to talk to through this endeavor. And he'll be kicking off the series with all these programs, shows, and content being thrown at you. You can find it all in one central place, and that's at our website at www.rethinktankpodcast.com. So again, guys, I want to appreciate you joining us. If we made you laugh, if we made you think, the best thing you could do is share this show. Take that link and spread it around. If you liked it, then definitely someone else you know will too. And that's the best thing you could do to support what we're doing here each week. But we don't want you to miss what we're doing here because whether you help us with the algorithm push or not, we're here. And we want you joining us. So be sure to like this episode and subscribe so we can catch you each week. But otherwise, guys, I want to thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next Tuesday